We're live now.
We are live.
Glad to be alive.
What's up? What's up, people? We are 5 minutes late, but that.
Black people always late.
Just a little.
Just a little.
Oh, BP. Today's show is going to be about the Jason Aldean song. Try that in a small town. Some people say it's racist. Some people say it's not. He's just singing about what's it like to live in a small town. Some people say have racist overtones. And the video, I guess, people are upset about the images in the video, but we'll get into it today as we normally do. And we welcome you guys to comment. If anybody wants to jump on and add their comments and be part of the panel, we're cool with that also. So here we go. Oh, here we go.
Farmers are dropping their own crops for the day. A friend is in need, and they've come to help.
It's what this community and a lot of our communities stand for. Somebody needs some help, you'll get it.
This is Jason Aldean. Jason Aldean put out a song called Try That in a Small Town, and liberals are losing their minds about it. They say the song is racist against black people and supports lynching. Well, I'm black and I've listened to the song approximately 152 times and I can't find any racism in it. The only racism I've seen is not from the song, but from the response of racist white liberals who believe that he's talking about black people. If you believe that lyrics like sucker punch somebody on the sidewalk and carjack an old lady at a red light is talking about black people, then he's not the racist, you are.
All right.
So are we going to talk about the racist dog whistles in Jason Aldean's new song or no? Because this shit's got me fired up. When I tell you there was a visceral response to hearing this song for the first time today, I mean that shit. After listening to this song one time, the references that I heard were nods to sundown towns and lynch mobs. And actually, this song is a great example of how you don't have to mention race at all for something to very obviously be about race. So the song is called Try That in a Small Town, and if you're with me, you already know where this is going. So right out of the gate in the first verse, he's talking about very stereotypical crimes that you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Like carjackings and robbing liquor stores. Who talks about those crimes? Sounds like he got his inspiration for this song from Fox News. And then he goes on to say, cuss out a cop, spit in his face, stomp on the flag and light it up. Yeah, you think you're tough. Who could he be talking about there? Because I guarantee you it's not the people from the Capitol. So then we get to the chorus, and this is where shit just gets wild. So he says, well, try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road. Round here, we take care of our own. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't try that in a small town. Tell me that that is not a reference to sundown town behavior. You cannot convince me otherwise. So then we get to verse 2, and it just gets more unhinged as we move forward. He says, got a gun that my granddad gave me. They say one day they're going to round up. Well, that shit might fly in the city. Good luck! Like, speechless. This part had me speechless. Because who's been talking about the resistance? And demographically, who usually lives in cities? Black folks. The answer is black folks. And then it goes through that sundown town chorus again. And I just can't get the picture out of my mind when he says, see how far you make it down the road. There is a scene in Lovecraft Country, if you've ever seen that show, where they're in a sundown town and they get chased out of the town. And like literally That's all I can picture when I read that line. So then we get to the bridge where he unironically burned it to the ground with this song. So he says, full of good old boys raised upright. If you're looking for a fight, try that in a small town. I feel like I could do a whole separate video on the historical context of what the good old boys means. Because if you search that term and the history of it, there's lots of different meanings from different areas of the country about what good old boys means. But when I hear that phrase, all I can think of is a group of white vigilantes who's made it their sole mission in life to keep black folks in check. Should I do a part 2 about the music video?
Here are 3 instances of black folks fighting back against white racism in Jason Aldean's small town of Macon, Georgia, the place where he was born. In 1868, in Macon, Georgia, a group of black men threatened to burn down the city if one more black man was murdered. This threat from the black men in the community led the city council to immediately call a meeting of conciliation. In other words, the city council wanted to keep the peace because they believed it would happen. 3 years later, in 1871, a group of 150 armed black men got together to protect the homes of Jefferson Long, as well as Henry McNeil Turner. Henry Turner was an AME bishop, the first black army chaplain during the Civil War, and an activist. And Jefferson Long was a tailor who became a congressman, and of course he was also a political activist. So because they stood up for black people, that made the white racists in Macon, Georgia extremely angry. But those 150 armed black men got together and said, you ain't trying that in our small town. And about an hour away in Hancock County, there was another black man who said, y'all ain't doing this in my small town. In 1871, when William Harrison was threatened by the Klan, he said there would be some burning taking place if he or any other black Republican was harmed. And they proceeded to not do anything to William Harrison or any black Republican in that county. And it might have something to do with the fact that he was involved in an insurrection against slavery in 1863. So Jason, I don't even recommend you try that in your small town, bruh. This is from
So guys, since everyone's been calling that new Jason Aldean song racist, I decided to do some investigating of my own, and I listened to the song, and the entire song is actually about criminals. It's about people who carjack grandmas, people who disrespect the police, people who disrespect the military, the flag, all of these things, and at no point does he actually ever mention black people. At no point does he actually ever mention race, and so it made me ask the question, are these people assuming he's talking about black people? And if they're assuming he's talking about black people when the entire song is about criminals, doesn't that make them the racist? Isn't that how that actually works?
Oh, say, can you see by the blood in the streets that this place doesn't smile on you, colored child, whose blood built this land with sweat on their hands. But you'll die in this place, and your memory erased. Oh, say, does this truth hold any weight? This is not the land of the free, but the home of the slave.
With the knowledge you gain, break away from the chains. We helping you grow, the Black Therapy Show. You be in a safe space, dealing with the black trauma. We are hacking and inspecting all our baggage and drama. Cause we gotta unite, no more killing each other. It's time to see a new future for my sisters and brothers. You know, with Kevin, Carl, and Tiffany, you'll have an epiphany. We'll give you everything you need to handle the enemy. We be giving you empathy, we gon' challenge you mentally. The right conversation so you grow exponentially. We built your penitentiaries, we built all your schools. Gave us brainwash education, just making us fools. Hatred was what we got in exchange for love. No more manipulation from my God up above. No, it's Carl, Kevin, and Tiffany. Now welcome to the Black Therapy Show. Let's go.
Yeah. What's
Hey,
up,
everybody.
people? What's up, Tiffany and Kevin?
Hey.
What's up, America?
Hey,
What's
Kev.
up? What's
Hey,
up? What's
Carl.
up? Hey, what's up? I'm getting drunk over here on a kabuchi. Kabuchi.
Want to welcome everyone for joining us here on another Sunday for another hour of us, as someone so elegantly put it last Sunday. All we do is complain, but I tell you what, you got decades more of complaining from us. So buckle up.
Click.
Buckle up. You know what's amazing? Today we're going to jump into the Jason Aldean song. Some people say it's racist. Some people say it's not. As you saw, even black people, is how we can have. You would think that we're all on code with stuff, but apparently not. You saw a few black people there saying there was nothing racist about the song, and that black people just paranoid, and the left is just, we just crazy, and we just look for racism in every single. But hasn't America given us every reason to think that? I mean, haven't they, Tiffany?
Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. This is fair use purposes, educational purposes. We do not own the rights to any of it. This is our opinion, the Black Therapy Show. Okay, we don't want nobody coming for us. I don't know, Carl. I'm just speechless because my mother, we both watched the video together, and she didn't see or feel the racism. But then you got to remember, we're visual. So
Right.
we're looking at the visual, because that's what the real thing is that the video came out. And this song been out since May. So now the video came out. Now everybody is seeing different things. And I'm going to be honest, I see both. I see a mixture of everything, and then when I did a deep dive into, the settings and where everything was done and places, you like, okay, now you can understand. I'm going to be honest, you don't want to go to no small town with no bullshit, because they are not having it. They're going to walk your ass up the road. You're going to disappear. He's letting you know. Don't pull us in a small town, and I'm not going to be honest, I felt a little bit of a sundown townish, like a ish, but it's freedom of speech. He can say what he can say, but I heard they taking it down. They've been taking it down.
Yeah, and he has some other country singers come out against him too. I think of her name before the show's over. A real popular country singer spoke out against him. So it's not just, he's had some white country singers. He's gotten backlash from some white country singers. Sheryl Crow, matter of fact, Sheryl Crow was very
Yes, it was Sheryl Crow.
Sheryl Crow came out against that. She thought it was disgusting and came out. She's one of the few that came out, but another country singer just came out also. And one of the problems with the video, and a lot of us don't know our history, and that's the problem, and that's why some black people are mad about it. But that courthouse that they showed in the video there was a very famous hanging there of an 18-year-old. His name was Henry Chochi, if I'm saying his last name. He was accused of assaulting a white 16-year-old girl. He was jailed, and then a mob of hundreds of white men kidnapped him from the jail cell, tied him to the back of a car, dragged him through the town, and eventually hanged him in front of that courthouse that you see in that video.
Right.
So and that courthouse is famous for. It's still there. That courthouse still stands, and so many lynchings of young black men, innocent young black men. So I think innocent young black men were hung at that courthouse during Jim Crow. So that's one of the reasons why black people were upset too. The two brothers that I don't even want to call them brothers, the two black men that showed in the videos who say they don't see racism. They don't know their history.
Right. And
If you don't know your history,
they don't
shut the
know.
hell up.
Right.
They don't know their history. And they know, and the country singer knows. You know, he's 40 years old, 39 years old, right? He's old enough to know the history of Macon, Georgia. Macon, Georgia is one of the most racist places, I mean, in the country. Always has
My
been.
father's
Always.
from Macon, Georgia.
So your father can tell you, I mean,
They had to
right?
migrate to New York because they were
Yeah.
dangerous down there.
Yeah, it's very dangerous there for black people to make them back in the day. So it has a history of lynchings, a history of major racism in that town. And for a white country singer to act like he don't know the history of that, and he put in that video is a dog whistle. It's a dog whistle against everything that happened. They've never gotten over the George Floyd thing, the Black Lives Matter movement. Whatever you want to say about that, how it ended up or whatever, that movement still bothers many white people the same way President Obama being in the White House for 8 years bothered a lot of white people.
I also heard that some of the footage that was in the video, not one piece of footage from the insurrection was in the video.
No.
Yeah.
And this goes back to what we say every week on this show, just about you would never see this country singer do a video like that where he's threatening Jewish people or saying something negative about the Holocaust. Everybody, because that whole video, I mean, what he's saying basically is, it's a dog whistle to Black Lives Matter, to that whole movement. It's a dog whistle to that. It's a rebuttal song, you know.
Is there any country song by a white artist singing about how lynching was wrong and Jim Crow was wrong? Is there any country song that sings about that?
I don't listen to country music, but I doubt it.
I don't listen to country music anyway, because isn't that where all the racism started and still is in the country?
Well, no, black people started country music, and it was stolen from black people. Black people are the originator of country music. That's what is so weird, is that black people started country music, and it was stolen from us. I'll give props to John Mellencamp, the singer John Camp Mellencamp. I don't know if you guys heard of him.
Yeah,
he had that song Jack and Diane, right?
Right.
That song was about an interracial couple, and he had to change the song because the record producers didn't want him singing about an interracial couple. Jack and Diane was about an interracial couple in an old small town. That was the lyrics. Jack and Diane, remember that song?
Yeah.
And he was talking about an interracial couple that was in love. The record companies didn't want him to sing about that, so he changed it, you know, to please the record companies. You know, because they didn't want to talk about him saying about love, an interracial couple being in love.
He had a song called "Small Town" too, John Mellencamp.
Yeah, well, that's the same song.
No.
Oh yeah, "Small Town." Yeah, that's right.
No.
But but if you listen to the lyrics, that's right. You listen to the lyrics of that song. He's talking about. Yeah, listen to the lyrics. I want you to pull that up. Listen to the lyrics of that song.
He made a video where there was a black girl dancing with a white guy.
Yeah.
And he said that he got a lot of threats from people
down
south.
Yeah, especially the country.
yeah, a lot of threats. Yeah.
In what, the 80s, right? 80s, 90s?
Yeah, he got a lot of threats. Yeah, that's what I was getting at. He got a lot of threats from the Jack and Diane song. He got a lot of backlash from that. And in a small town, he got a lot of backlash. So there's some country singers that are, I hate to use the word woke, but he was one of those cats that was woke and not down for the cause, like, you know.
But my point was, nobody makes a song about the lynching and all the Jim Crow stuff, the Jim Crow era. No white country singer makes a song about how horrible that was and how terrible it was, and it should never happen. But
Well, they can't. They cannot. Who's going to play it?
Yeah, they're not going to play it.
So
who's going to produce it?
No, but my point is, this song, there was an intention behind this song, right? Because they always call us savages, right? Like there'll be a carjacking and they're savages, or a drive-by shooting. They'll be yeah, we do some horrible stuff, but nothing compared to what the white people have done.
Yeah,
nothing even close. But they'll jump and call us savages, and pull a gun, in the liquor store, all that stuff to them.
Yeah. Those is like cold words.
Yeah, they're savages for that. But hanging somebody from a tree, that's okay. You know what I mean? That's
compared to
right.
I have excuse me. I have a couple of things that we should know. He didn't write the song.
Right, a couple of guys in his band wrote it.
Okay. He didn't produce the video. They said the person that wrote it was these are the people that was pinned to it: Kurt Allison, Tully Kennedy, and Kelly Lovelace, and Neil Thrasher. These are the ones that supposedly wrote. This is what I got on Google. What they wrote. And the one that directed the video was Sean Silver. So what do you think that he was just an artist, just being there? Do you think that artist should investigate what kind of video, what kind of background? Like, do y'all think that they even told him this was a courthouse that hung black men? I mean, do you think that they are responsible for knowing?
Yes, he's the star.
As an artist. Mm-hmm.
He's the star. He's the star. First of all, I don't think a man his age doesn't know. He's a white guy that grew up in Macomb, Georgia, and he's almost 40 years old. I think he understands what racism is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he has people in his family that's racist. So it's not that he doesn't know. He knows. He's not ignorant to the fact of what goes on in this country and in the town, and in the town he was born in the state that he was born in, Georgia. Mm-hmm. He understands at 39, almost 40 years old, what the hell's going on, right? So we're not gonna give him that pass, Now we'll give credit to the Country Music Channel for taking the song down.
Right.
So there are executives who said we're not gonna play this, So on this show we have to give credit where credit's due, right? Mm-hmm. There are white people who took the song down because they thought it was wrong. And if they didn't think the song was bad, they wouldn't have took it down. They know it's bad. If people that makes music, people that make money off of this song, radio stations and country music video stations that make money off of a hit song, if they took it down, then that means there's something wrong with it. Okay. Al Sharpton didn't take it down. Yeah. Jackson didn't take it down. Some white guy took it down, and some white lady took it down. They're calling shots in the executive office. That means they know firsthand there's something wrong with the video. They wouldn't have took it down. Excuse me.
You know what I find interesting is that Jews are on code. Every single Jew has zero tolerance for anything they deemed anti-Semitic, right? Never, ever see one come out and say, oh, come on, that wasn't anti-Semitism. That was just, no, they all stay on code. Whereas us, right?
Well, there's a reason for it. There's a reason for it. Let me tell you real quickly. Let me cut you off, but let me tell you real quickly.
No, go ahead.
There is money in this thing. You think those guys that you had on those videos aren't getting paid? They're getting paid either through social media, through numbers. Numbers on social media get you paid. You get 1 billion views on this show next week, we all getting a check. You know what I'm saying? The more clicks you get, the more money you make. So when you get on TV and say stupid stuff on social media, like Candace Owens and these people getting paid. Candace Owens making money. Mm-hmm. Candace Owens is probably a millionaire from saying the things that she says about black people, and all the type and Diamond and Silk. I understand. I think Miss Silk passed away, right? But Diamond and Silk, they were making big money
against black people.
They were making big money. Yeah, anybody who does a smear campaign against, if we change the concept of our show, and next week start talking about how bad black people are and how great DeSantis and Trump is, we'll be getting $1 million checks in the mail and invited on Fox News in no time.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, exactly. So how do you know if those cats are sincere about what they're saying? They might just be doing it for the money.
Wait a minute. You just
hold on. When you see a Trump rally, for example, and you see black people sitting behind him with T-shirts on "Blacks for Trump," you think they're not getting a check?
Right. Word on the street, what on the white streets, because I had to listen to white people too to hear what they had to say. Word on the streets, this is dealing with marketing. It's all about marketing. They knew what they was doing. They knew putting this video out will get people riled up. You understand? Because it's dealing with guns, it's dealing with the protests, you understand? It's dealing with violence. So they knew that it would give up. So a lot of people on the white side, because I was watching y'all, they said that they doing it for marketing, for likes and clicks, and because they said this been out since May. But the video is what's shooting it out, because I don't think the song was doing okay. But now he got almost like 60 million views already.
But there was nothing. There was no Nazis in that video, right? There was no, like you said, nothing about the insurrection in that video.
No, they're not going to do that. He knows what he's doing. That's going political. Like I said, I think it's just little code words on how he's saying it, how he's doing the song, and think. I felt a little uncomfortable, with it, because it makes you feel like a down south country song. Keep your ass from around here in this small town. Have your ass in the house by sundown. You understand, before the sun's sundown. It just made me feel like that. But that's how them country people are. So.
Yeah. Check out this other brother. Well, I don't know if he's a brother, but.
So are we going to talk about the racist dog whistles in Jason Aldean's new song or no?
No, but I want to talk about how you just exposed yourself. See, Jason Aldean never spoke about an actual black person in any of his lyrics. What he talked about was people who steal, people who carjack, people who burn flags, and you interpret that as he must be speaking about black people. You just exposed how you see black people in this country, madam, not him. Don't you just love when liberals expose themselves? And I don't even listen to country music. So no, I'm not speaking as a super fan. I'm speaking as a logical person. Keep it up, wokies. I'm just getting started.
Well, like you said, Kev, those are people who are uninformed or lack. But how can you live in America and not know?
A lot of people don't know.
Because a lot of people don't know because you're comfortable. Because you know why? Because that guy that you just showed is probably in his early 20s, right?
Yeah.
And like I said on last week's show, and I don't know if I said it on the show, if I said it after the show to you guys, Dr. King and Jesse Jackson and Ralph Akanapi, I think I got his name right. All those guys, when they were marching during the civil rights and all that stuff, all those guys were in their 20s.
Yeah, they were young
They were
men.
in their 20s doing what they were doing. When they're getting water hosed and having dogs sicked on them and beat with billy clubs by police and all that, those guys were in their 20s.
Right.
So here you got a guy in his 20s in 2023 who has the internet at his fingertips. Nobody should be ignorant right now. You got so much information at your fingertips. You got shows like Our Show. You got shows like Urban View and Joe Madison and Karen Hunt. All these people, Clay Kane, all these people that get on and every week preach, knowledge about what's going on. And so nobody should be arrogant right now. There's just so much information out there in the world and so many videos. I was watching the brother that keep getting banned off of radio. What's his name?
Brother, talking about Brother Islam.
Yeah, I was watching him today.
Reza Islam, yeah.
I was watching him in the airport today. He keeps getting back on the internet because they keep kicking him off. I love that dude, man. He's a bad dude, man.
I love that guy. They kick him. They keep kicking. I didn't know that.
They took his
He's
Instagram
like
down.
Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Yeah, they took his Instagram down. They keep taking his TikTok down. He can come back as different people putting posts up, and they keep taking them down. But I watched a nice video of him today. It was like an hour long. Him and comedian, my boy, that I work over in the Bahamas. Can't think of his name right now. From Mad TV, what's his name? Ari Spears. Him and Ari Spears.
Yeah, I saw that.
You saw that? Yeah, that was a nice interview, man. Yeah, him and Ari Spears, man. So I think he was on Ari Spears' podcast, probably, maybe. So, yeah, but yeah, that brother bad, man. He a bad dude, but yeah. So, it's so many people. I'm just saying, so many people kicking knowledge, man. It's talking real good stuff, and you know, nobody should not know. So for him to sit there and just be so wrong in his approach about what he's saying, he's so wrong.
And there's many like him.
But it's many like it, but they'll be like that until something happens. It takes them
to get that wake up call.
It takes them to get that wake up call, and once they get that wake up call, then they come running and begging for Ben Crump to save their ass or somebody, you know. But at that point, it's too late. When Ben Crump coming knocking on your door, it's too late, right?
You know, like I try to, you know, not think on a racist level, but then I Googled him to see if he had any other things about him. He went allegedly in blackface as Lil Wayne to a Halloween party. Did y'all get that picture I sent y'all?
Yes, I saw that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw that. Who did Aldean?
Yes. So that's what I'm saying. It's like I'm trying to, you know how you try to give people the benefit of the doubt and then you do something or something is documented that you did that was kind of racist, you know. So I don't know, because to be honest with you, I don't think no white or black person should do blackface. I don't think that you should put any brown makeup on your face, because do we put white makeup on our face? Do we put peach color makeup on our face, red and white makeup on our face? We don't do that. You know, we don't disrespect ourselves. So I don't think anybody of any other nationality or culture should do that. Blackface, that's minstrel, you know. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, for some reason, it seems like white people have. I don't know if it's their way of looking down on certain types of people, and I say that meaning like the way they name the teams, like the Cleveland Indians, and you know what I mean, how they use Indian names.
Oh, they had to remove that.
Right, they had to remove them. But why would you? What kind of mentality do you have to do that? You know what I mean? I'm just showing that's just the way they think. Like they'll, you know, just try in slick ways to demean people.
No, they did it. They been did it. It's just that we didn't say anything about it. Now it's an open forum now, especially dealing with racism. You know, remember, everybody's starting to see stuff for what it really is. And
yeah, because we have the internet, you know. I mean, we live in an information age. That's what I'm saying. You know, you still there, Carl? I think we lost Tiff for a second. Yeah, we're in the information age, Carl and Tiff. So everybody can self-educate themselves. Everything's being, you know, people are being educated now on big levels on everything. I mean, you just know everything that's going on in the world, you know. I mean, they're starting to come out right now and talk about UFOs, you know. I mean that the government knows there's UFOs. I mean, that's where we're at right now in this world, because now you can't hide anything anymore because of the internet. You know,
the access
information is there are people who know stuff that nobody else knew in the 70s, but couldn't spread that information to the world. But now today, somebody that knows that there are aliens can actually go on TikTok and say it.
Right.
You know
and
what
not
I'm saying?
be judged, right.
There was TikTok in the 70s to say, yo, a spaceship did land. But now you got people that say that it happened. And now there's rumors coming out that the government's been hiding. So, you know, who knows? You know, I'm just saying.
So what do you guys think should be the outcome of this whole Jason Aldean thing? Because I was thinking, should we still care about people like Jason Aldean? I mean, we know racist people exist. I don't think they're ever going to go away. So by us talking about it, in my opinion, this is the out. At least we know who he is. Obviously, we're not going to buy his records. We're not going to support him in any way. Why do we really still care about people like Jason Aldean?
I don't.
Okay.
I really don't.
Yeah,
You know what I care
didn't
about?
even
You know what I care. You know what I care about? I care about that. Like we lost Tony Bennett this week. 96 years old. Tony Bennett passed away. Right, Italian man, by the way. But I don't know how many people know Tony Bennett marched with Dr. King. Tony Bennett helped finance Dr. King's marches. I mean, Tony Bennett was down for the cause. Tony Bennett marched alongside Dr. King, and he also went after Nazis also that killed Jewish people. So he was that guy, you know.
Wasn't Frank Sinatra one of? Did Frank Sinatra?
Frank Sinatra did the same thing.
Yeah.
Frank Sinatra did the same thing, and Tony Bennett was Frank Sinatra was Tony Bennett's idol, right? So but Frank Sinatra was that guy too. He stopped the rumor, you know, the legend is he stopped the mob from killing Sammy Davis Jr., you know, because Sammy was apparently, you know, bluntly put in messing with some mob white girls, mob boss white girl, and they were going to kill him, you know, and you know, so yeah, I mean, hey, allegedly. I'm saying, I mean, yeah, we can talk about this country singer. We know who he is.
Yeah.
You know,
but I'm asking because, you know, we talk about it, and
well, we have to talk about it. It's a hot topic, and that's what our show deals with hot topics. You know, but it's okay. We're gonna wash our hands of him in about 2 minutes, and he's gonna be history in our brains, right? Because we already know who he is. We know what he's trying to do. We know what he did. And there's people that watch our show that might not know about the video or might not know what we just said. So that's why we talk about it. But all three of us don't give a rat's ass about him, because we're in about 60 seconds, we're moving on to something else, right? And he'll be history.
The reason I'm asking, Kev, the reason I'm saying all of this is what I'm saying. My point is, this, to me, should give Black people more of a reason to, as I always say, get in the huddle, right? Because look at all the forces against us. So seeing people like him and all the other shit we have to deal with, for some reason, it shouldn't make Black people want to work together more.
It might help a percentage of people, but not all people. We remember a lot of people are comfortable in their dysfunction. We have stressed that.
As we saw with, you know.
Yeah, they're comfortable with it. But I hope that this situation opened my eyes, because I didn't know nothing about him. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't even know he was from my father's, you know, hometown. But you also mentioned Sonny. You know, I watched The View. I checked The View out. You know, Sonny said her family is from there. Her mother is Lily White and her father's Black. You know, so she's of mixed heritage. So she expressed that she know what that information was. Remember, people see stuff that we don't see. You know, she must have saw those soft codes, you understand, because she's half white, you know. And she said her mother and father was ran out of their town because of their interracial relationship, you know.
So, you brought up a good point, though, Tiffany. He's talking about try that in a small town, all this stuff, but nothing about the insurrection, nothing about Nazis, nothing about, you know, the Klan, all bad people.
He mentioned the good old boys. That made me think about the racist groups.
Yeah, you think that's more of a threat? You think a carjacking and a liquor store being held up is more of a threat than the Nazis?
Because I never really heard of a carjacking. Well, not a liquor store in the South, because remember, everybody got guns down there.
Yeah.
You know, you think twice about doing certain robberies, you know, and some of the people down there, they know their place.
I mean, I think the video has racial overtones, and
yeah, I think so too. It do have racial overtones.
Yeah, absolutely. But he's just trying, you know, nobody ever comes out and say, I don't like Black people. And and this song,
he can't do that right now. He can't.
Right. But so they'll make, you know, they'll do their little, you know, dance around that they normally do. but you got to read the tea leaves, as they say.
And you also got to watch out for who is the director and who wrote it.
Yeah, absolutely.
The resistance is in full throttle right now, because they understand the numbers. We've talked about the numbers on this show, that the white man's going to be a minority in a few years, because they're not producing the way Black people are producing. They're not producing the way the Hispanics are producing, and they're going to be in a minority after a while, and they don't want that. So the resistance is there, and it starts at the top. It starts at the top. That's why you got governors, like DeSantis, Trump. I mean, Trump has opened the door.
Story.
Trump was the first guy to come out and say what so many people think privately, and he got away with it. And that was the biggest mistake ever. When he come down the escalator and said Mexicans are killing people and they're rapists and all that sort of stuff, and his numbers went up. His numbers shot up. And then when he said Obama wasn't born in this country, he's a Muslim, his numbers shot up again. So every time he said something against people of color, his numbers shot up. They didn't go down, they shot up. So what did that tell you? If a guy says racist stuff, like Trump right now is like leading the Republican Party as the nomination right now. He got more. He's leading DeSantis in the polls right now, and the guy got 21 indictments against him, a rape charge against him. Dale Hughley said that. What Dale Hughley say? He says Trump shouldn't be running for office. He should be a rapper.
His skin protection is really working.
Well, it's working to a certain extent, guys. But
it's working. Like you said, people are falling for it, and now this DeSantis. You got a video about that DeSantis? Because he's on my nerve call already.
And I got to go back to the state of Florida in 48 hours, by the way. So.
Yeah. Are you on mute?
Yeah, sorry, I was on mute. I was just looking for more videos on the whole DeSantis thing. But check out, this is a video of two girls on a podcast talking about slavery. This is actual real video.
Said that Black people enjoy being slaves.
I think there were probably a good majority of Black people who back then were born and raised as slaves, probably because that's the only thing they knew. It was the environment they grew up in. If they had a slave owner who treated them well, they probably enjoyed their lives, a few of them. I think it's illogical to believe that every person who was a slave back then hated their life. I truly think that's illogical. I do.
I'm pretty sure that being owned is not a good thing.
Because you grew up in this generation and this is what you've been taught. And we know these things now.
No,
but back then,
not just because
those societal standards were not created yet.
Not just because I grew up in this generation, but because I can think logically and morally on this topic and why it is unfair to own another human based off of their birth as having a certain skin color, for example. That's unfair.
I'm pretending like I'm saying it's okay to own slaves now, because that's not what I'm insinuating.
You are defending slavery.
I'm not defending it. I'm just giving you the facts. Aren't you all about facts over feelings?
Yeah, and I believe that slavery is immoral.
Right, and I do too. But the fact was, back then, I think you're illogical if you think that some of them didn't enjoy being slaves or enjoy their lives.
Why would anyone enjoy being a slave?
That's the environment you grew up in. That's all you've ever known. So if you grew up in that environment and you have a slave owner who treats you well, that's just all they know. So they probably were happy about it. They didn't know freedom. Why is it so hard for you to understand this?
What does a slave owner treating their slave well look like?
I mean, back then, I'm sure some of them, I'm pretty sure they fed them, right? Or probably that they weren't whipping anybody or not tormenting anyone. Just I don't have specific details for you.
Okay, as long as you're working inhumane hours on plantations, but you're being fed, then that's a good thing.
Again, I'm not saying slavery was a good thing. You're not going to try to make it seem like that's what I'm saying, because I don't know what you want me to say. If you want to believe that every person back then who was a slave hated their life, go for it.
You want to take
Yeah, let me. Oh my God, let me before I punch my computer. Let me talk. 58 years on this planet, and that's the first time I think my mouth actually dropped to the ground. I cannot believe what I just listened to. I am in a state of shock. Wow. And the scary thing about that is she is not alone in her thinking, right? She's not alone. You know why? Because once again, what I said earlier, we have to know our history. People think that, and first of all, we got to stop saying slaves. We got to say enslaved. They weren't slaves, they were enslaved. You know what I mean? We're enslaved people, not slaves. You know, so
but
let me say this real quickly. I'll get this out right.
Yeah.
When they were in Africa, in their countries in Africa, people think that those Africans were unhappy being in Africa. Like that was some bad place to be, some bad. They think that people in Africa were not living good, and it was a curse to be there. And that's the furthest from the truth. Those people were kings and queens and living a good life before they were taken onto ships and brought to America. So the ignorance is that most people, even Black people, are guilty of this, thinking that African people were some sort of curse being in Africa, you know, back in the 1700s or 1600s, and that's furthest from the truth. If you do your history and learn from people that know that history, they would, you know, debate you on that and tell you the truth. I mean, I've watched lots of videos of people that have done a lot of research on their history, and those Black people are not over there living like savages. But that's the illusion that we have been taught. Because when my brother and I were kids, we used to watch Tarzan. And the actor, Johnny Weissmuller, I think his name was, played Tarzan in America, right? And he used to beat up all the Africans and stuff. And my brother and I used to root for him. We're brainwashed.
Yeah.
We used to root for Tarzan to beat the hell out of all these Africans because we thought the Africans were bad. They had the bones in their nose. We thought they were bad. They're bad. Beat their ass, Johnny Weissmuller. Beat their ass, Tarzan.
They didn't think that we were civilized. They felt like they needed to civilize us.
So we were brainwashed, even as kids. I'm saying my brother and I, 6 and 7 years old, are brainwashed that Africans are bad people because we rooted for Tarzan. We never rooted for the Black people. And that's what happens in America. Everybody's raised thinking that Africans were bad people and savages. And that brainwash is what that lady has that we just listened to. She thinks that Africa was some bad place and that them coming over here and just getting beat and getting some chitlins, some hog guts to eat on, was good for them. You know, working in 100-degree weather and getting hit with a whip, picking cotton for 12 hours a day, and having your Black women being raped constantly. She left that part out, didn't she? That Black women were being raped constantly, you know, and husbands had to sit back and watch their women be raped and couldn't do nothing about it, you know, and father babies that were raised to be slaves. I mean, slavery was very brutal, very brutal.
Tiffany, you're telling me out of 10 million slaves, not one was happy? Not one?
Yo, when they say this, it makes me laugh because I don't really like ignorant white women. Because to be honest with you, racism starts with them. They are the mothers of these children. Okay, they can stop racism, but with women like her, it will continue. And nobody was happy on the slave grounds. Nobody was happy on the plantation. I mean, come on, they didn't even feed the slaves. Are you serious? They had 5 families in one little house. Are you serious? So that's why I said, you know what? Those white girls, And that was a reaction video. I think this young lady did the video, the one that was saying that it wasn't nothing, and the other one was reacting to it. So that was like a reaction video with each other. I wouldn't even give her no time. I laughed. That was funny to me. That's really funny to me. You know, we didn't suffer. You know, just like DeSantis. You know, you're saying that we benefited from slavery. No, y'all benefited from slavery. Y'all all got all y'all own money from us, from the blood and sweat and tears of our ancestors. And you gonna sit here and say we benefited from it and we're still suffering because y'all run this nasty ass racist system? The whole system needs to be changed, to be honest with you. It needs to be shut down and started all over again. I'm gonna be honest with you, because this is not a black and white world. This is a multicultural world. It's not run the way it used to be run 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 200 years ago. Are you serious? It's just very disappointing. It's very disappointing. It's disgusting.
Here's another one real quick. I'm only doing this for 30 seconds because you guys know that Florida's crazy. Florida has just approved that in middle school, slavery should be taught as beneficial to the slaves because it gave them skills that they could apply throughout their life and pass down. Uncle Scruff, are they wrong in Florida? You tell me. Peace.
Can the parents in Florida protest?
Yes. Yes. But they're not thinking like that. They're not thinking, why you think they don't want nobody coming to their small towns? Because they are controlled. They blacks, they can control their blacks. They don't want them to know. The people are the ones that can be able to go out and say something. They have to go. They have to do something. They have to. It's just horrible.
Well, they're not gonna do nothing.
They're not going to do anything, but that's going to solve the problem if they go out there and they say something about it. Because you know they said he tried to piggyback on it because he's getting so much of people coming for him. Are you serious? It was nothing beneficial about slavery. Are you serious? Y'all never gave us our 40 acres and a mule. That's beneficial. Okay, we supposed to get what we supposed to got from us for working hard, and you stealing from us. I mean, come on, and taking us out. We didn't ask to come here. They took us without permission. Oh, I just...
You know, that white lady took me back, even though I wasn't there, to the mentality of the slave owner. You know, that mentality that,
yes,
you know, that you were happy because they were fed. You put me in a shitty situation, right? You put me in a shitty situation and they gave me, treated me okay, you know what I mean? And you think that I'm happy? If you kidnapped me and took me somewhere and put me in a dungeon, you know, and brought me out once a week for some sunlight and gave me some food, you could argue that I was happy because at least I was getting some food. At least you brought me out of the cave or whatever a couple times a week to see the sun. And then, you know what I mean? That I should be grateful. I should be grateful to you. Slavery the word in itself is horrible. Just the word itself, slavery, it's horrible. So she's saying some women enjoy being raped. I can say that, right? If she can say, I can say some women enjoyed it. You tell me all the millions of women that have been raped across the world, there isn't one woman that enjoyed being raped. By her logic,
yeah,
horrible. I mean, wrong. I mean, I don't even like. But that just shows the level of mentality that
yes,
you know,
it's many of them like
that. Own slaves are no problem as long as she let them in the house and she gave them food, she gave them breakfast, she gave them lunch, she gave.
They didn't do that either.
But I'm saying, yeah, she would be happy owning slaves as long as she patted them on the head, you know, gave, you know what I mean, rubbed their back, you know. She would be.
She should be educated. Maybe she should take a trip to, you know, a museum. Maybe she should take the tour that Tiffany took last week.
That wouldn't move her
to the plantation.
every tour, one of the houses that I went to, the Owens and Thomas house in Savannah, they had bars on the door and the bars on the windows. They were heavenly. They couldn't leave. They couldn't do anything. One lady was beaten just because she went to go say hello to her friend at another cabin. So I mean, come on, you think that was okay? No, no. You saw how the master live and how they live. No, stop. You know, so like I said, do your education, okay? And white woman, please, you raise these children, raise your children right, okay? Raise them to have empathy and sympathy for others of all colors, of all nationalities, okay? That's what you do. Because we don't raise our children to hate. We don't raise our children to kill. Do you understand? We don't raise, that's not a part of our agenda. We don't do that. We raise them to survive in this world.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna show you guys what it is to be black in a small town.
Oh.
He'll call in video.
How you doing, sir? Are you lost or?
Hold on a second. Why would you ask if I'm lost?
Because my neighbor called me and told me there was a car parked in front of his house and he didn't know who it was. So
Okay, so what is that your concern?
I'm sorry?
What is that your concern?
I just told you my neighbor just called me.
Yeah, so?
And he wanted to know why you were parked on his soil.
So?
In front of
I'm
his
not
house.
parking his soil.
And I said, I don't know. I said, maybe it's one of your guests.
Hold on a
I said,
second.
Let me find out who he is.
Hold on a second. Excuse me. You what police department are you with?
I'm sorry?
What police department are you with?
Broward County Sheriff's Office. What does that matter?
You're with Pompano Beach, right?
Yeah, I'm talking to you as a civilian. 'Cause
Yeah,
my neighbor
hold on a second. You're Pompano. What city are we in?
Okay.
No.
What does that matter about my job?
Excuse me. What city are you
My neighbor
in?
called me about some guy parked.
So is that illegal?
Find out who he
Is that hold on? Excuse me. Step aside. So this, I think it's the. Are you a police officer?
What does that matter? My neighbor.
Yeah, but what does it have to do with that? Hold on a second.
Sometimes people, call you.
What does it have to do? Why are you engaging me for? I don't have to answer you. Have a good day. Have a good day. Have a good day. Have a good day. Stop harassing me. Stop harassing me. You're harassing me. Have a good day. Stop harassing me. So I'm on this side of the street, and we got this racial white police officer. Let me see. Are you a police officer?
My mom's freaking Spanish.
Are you a police officer?
So what does that matter?
Why are you so mad?
What does that matter?
Look, why are you coming up to me like that for?
What does that matter?
What's the reason that you're approaching me like that for?
What does that matter? You talking about
Listen. I'm in my car. You live across the street.
Why does my ethnicity matter to you?
Do you live across the street? Look, have a good day.
Are you racist?
Have a good day. Have a good day. Have a good day. Have a good day. Stop harassing me. Have a good day. No, I'm an educated black man. I own a business. Have a good day. Have a good day. Have a good day. I own a business. I'm educated. You only have 2 week training. Have a good day. Have a good day. Have a good day. Stop harassing me. It's going on social media. It's going on social media. I never said anything about race. I never said anything about race. Police accountability. Police reform bill. You're not a plantation police officer. You're racial. Good. Stop hiding behind your badge. Make sure not to follow me again. I saw you following me back and forth. Don't follow me. That's illegal. That's illegal. I could be in here anytime I want. Anytime I want. I'll be in anytime I want. Don't get fired.
So to be anywhere in America, you have to live in that neighborhood. You can only be in the neighborhood that you live in.
Listen, it's just certain places you just don't go, so you don't get harassed like that. You understand? It's real sad. He's probably in there minding his business. Somebody calls him. Listen, somebody's over here, a black guy. He's in this blue Ram. Can you please come over here and come check it out? Because I'm scared. That's what happened. Somebody called and he took his ass out there, and that black man got out his car. You noticed that, right? He got out his car and was like, go. All right, thank you. Have a good day. Get out of here. Beat it.
I mean, I had pulled over to text or to do stuff, to fix my GPS or whatever, to put in an address, just pull over randomly, not paying attention to where I am, But come on, if that was a white dude, no one would have called. That guy would not have came out of his house.
No.
And black people there was a white dude sitting a couple of summers ago, sitting at the bottom of my driveway for like 3 or 4 hours. I swear to God, every time I look out, he was still there. He's just sitting there.
So I would have called the police. I would have been like, listen, this is suspicious white guy sitting in front of my door. He's been there for 3 hours and I don't know who he is.
I mean, he looked like he was writing. I didn't know what he would do, but I didn't go ask him anything.
He was writing about you.
I didn't bother him. I didn't feel threatened. I didn't feel like he was a threat. Nefarious. I mean, and after a while he was gone.
Carl, you knew your place. You knew you better not call on that white man. You'll get your ass in trouble.
You know, so that feels just to show how
we don't think like that. We don't work like that. But for us black people, we already see they shooting us if we go in their driveway. Please go into a gas station. Go into an empty parking lot. Don't go into somebody's house, in front of their houses and stuff. Please don't do it. So that's the message. Please don't do it. Okay.
All right, you guys care about Jamie Foxx?
Let's talk about him. He's in the news.
Yeah. Tiffany don't care about Jamie Foxx.
Isn't he still healing?
No, I just asked because he put out a video. I'll show a little bit of it.
First of all, I want to say thank you to everybody that's prayed, man, and sent me messages. I cannot even begin to tell you how far it took me and how it brought me back. I went through something that I thought I would never ever go through. And I know a lot of people were waiting, or wanting to hear updates, but to be honest with you, I just didn't want you to see me like that, man. I want you to see me laughing, having a good time, partying, cracking a joke, doing a movie, television show. I didn't want you to see me with tubes running out of me and trying to figure out if I was gonna make it through. And to be honest with you, my sister Deidre Dixon, my daughter Corinne Marie saved my life. So to them, to God, to a lot of great medical people, I'm able to leave you this video. I cannot tell you how great it feels to have your family kick in such a way. And y'all know they kept it airtight. They didn't let nothing out. They protected me. And that's what I hope that everyone could have in moments like these. Now, by being quiet, sometimes things, get out of hand. People saying what I got. Some people said I was blind, but as you can see, the eyes are working. The eyes are working just fine. They said I was paralyzed. I'm not paralyzed. But I did go through, I went to hell and back, and my road to recovery had some potholes as well. But I'm coming back, and I'm able to work. So I want to thank the people that let me work, and I just want to say that I love everybody, and I love all of the love that I got. And man, I know they talk about people crying on videos. You could do take two, but I'm not gonna do a take two. It is what it is. And if you see me out from now on, and every once in a while I just burst into tears, is because it's been tough, man. I was sick, man, but now I got my legs under me, so you're gonna see me out. But like I said, I just want you to remember me for the jokes that I crack. The movies that I make, some of them good, some of them ain't. I think I got a good one out. And the songs that I sing, man. And then, some people were talking about I'm clone. Well, check this out. Just kidding you. Not clone, man, but I'm here on earth because of some great people. I'm here on earth because of God, man. So I love all y'all. I just wanted to jump on here and let you know that I'm on my way back in love.
All right. Shout out.
I'm happy about to see that video.
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie just came out too. Somebody cloned somebody named Tyrone or Jerome, something like that.
Hey, you never know what Hollywood is, but Jamie Foxx is one of the good guys, and I a lot of assholes in this business, and
very talented.
I don't know Jamie I don't know him that well. I don't know him that well, but I've been around him a few times, and he's extreme. He's always been very gracious, and he's a very nice guy, and and perhaps one of the most talented people to ever be in Hollywood. So
very talented.
I'm just glad he's not 6 feet under. That's all. So
yeah. All right. Well, that's it for our show today. I want to thank everyone for taking another hour out of your Sunday.
Wait a minute. I see you didn't even touch that girl.
What girl?
Oh, let's talk about her real quick.
This girl. What girl?
A lying-ass girl that said she had the baby. She saw the baby on the freeway.
Oh, the girl. Oh, sorry. Yeah. The girl that said she had it.
Let me say this real quickly, man. Let me say this real quickly. You know what's so bad about that is that when Black women are missing in America, they cannot get any press. And this young Black lady got a lot of press that we always argue Black women don't get. And national news did cover her. And then it turned out to be a fraud. The same thing with Jussie Smollett, who said the white man.
Jussie Smollett?
Yeah, they said the white man beat him wearing Trump hats, you know. It's enough bad stuff to happen to Black people in America. You ain't got to make stuff up, you know. And all this does is make it bad for the next Black woman that goes really missing. The next young Black lady that goes really missing in America is not going to get CNN coverage, is not going to get MSNBC coverage because of what this young lady did.
I think they picked and choose what they wanted to do. Again, we have to remember, and I don't know if y'all people don't remember, but it's a public service announcement. They know everything that we're doing. Okay? They know everything, everywhere we go, how we move. They knew what that girl did, from getting Cheetos, stealing toilet tissue from what she has Googled. I mean, they know everything of what we do. Why would you even put yourself in a situation? And I'm gonna be honest, I really didn't want to touch it because I felt like, why? But again, we must have the question of, we know technology is good. You don't think them cops already knew that she was lying and they just wanted to put it out there? You understand? So, like you said, so many people are missing. Black children, Black women, Black men, white people, they're missing. This could have went to all of them. This whole search thing could have went to them. Why did they choose this one? And they knew she was lying from the beginning, or they knew it was suspect, or something wasn't right. I mean,
well, I don't know if they knew that she was
police. They investigated.
I think they investigated and pulled her phone records and surveillance video. Because when you're searching for somebody, Tiffany, you go to places where they were. So her phone pinged at Walmart. So you had to look at the videos at Walmart and saw that maybe she was in there buying stuff. And then they started to investigate. Yeah, you got to investigate. So you investigate and you see on her phone that she's now, you look at her computer and see that she's Googled the movie Taken. And she's Googled how to, the same thing with this guy that they just busted in Long Island, the serial killer. They went to his computer and they see that he's been Googling rape porn and all sorts of stuff and 10-year-old girls. They know his whole history now, you know, of what he's been Googling and searching on the internet. You know, whatever you search on the internet,
it comes up.
Yeah, so I think this lady is troubled somehow.
Yeah,
and
I
she
think
wants
so
attention, or I don't know if she did it for a man or she just troubled.
No, she did it supposedly, allegedly for a man.
Okay, so she wants some attention. So
yes.
She got it. Now she might go to jail the same way Jussie apparently went to jail because she broke the law. Because now you got hundreds of police people looking for you, search teams looking for you, people looking for you, news channels covering you. You got national coverage. And, I'm not going to let her off the hook. I mean, she needs some help, obviously, but what she did was a very bad thing because now
you think she should go to you? So you think she should go to jail? You don't think the internet is whooping her ass enough?
No, I don't think she should go to jail. I think they're going to lock her up because when people do something like that, it's against the law because you waste man hours, you waste time, you waste people's times and energy. A lot of people went out looking for this lady. You know, a lot of people were looking for her. A lot of people were concerned. You know, we were concerned. You know, everybody concerned about her. We thought that another black woman was kidnapped in America. Everybody on social media was like, "Yeah, they put the black baby out to, you know, to get her."
The black baby. I thought it was a white baby.
You know, whatever it's colored baby was. They even they even showed a Dave Chappelle clip. Dave Chappelle did a joke about that.
Oh
Years
yeah,
ago.
the baby,
Remember?
the baby. You can't catch me with the baby joke.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So they were showing that clip where Dave Chappelle was talking about, you know, that's how they trap you by putting the baby out. Yeah, and they were like, I ain't falling for that.
But they
Yeah,
said the baby is not running 50 football fields. That right there, I was like this.
Yeah. So they
Right,
know, but that's a big. But you know what, Tip? You brought up a bigger point. That Big Brother is watching our ass. We're being watched. Like they knew that this girl stole toilet paper from her job.
That's what I'm saying. Don't do no crimes. They know what we do. When we hold our phone, our lap, anything, they know where we're at. They know what we're doing. Okay? Y'all really, please stop.
You know, it's so funny you mentioned that because I was on my phone today and something that I Googled something last week and it kept popping up in my phone. And I'm going,
You came in the algorithm.
I don't even know I was looking at this. Yeah. It was a car and it popped up in my phone. And every time I open my phone, I see this freaking car. I'm like, what the hell is going on? How did my phone know this? You know, when you Google something on your phone, it's going to stay in your phone. And now you're going to start getting ads for it. You know,
and your location, everything.
Yeah. So you're being watched like crazy. That's why, you know, when you do these crimes now, you're going to get caught because they're watching you so many. They got video footage of her stealing, what she bought at the store, what movie she watched, everything. And it's sad because obviously she's disturbed, needs some help, and she shouldn't be jailed for it, but she's going to get arrested.
No, she need help, or she need a mother like mine. Because first of all, to be honest with you, I think what she needs to do is come out with a statement. Come out with a statement. Say you lied, you made a mistake, you have issues, and you're going to take care of your mental health and go about your business. Okay, because I think that's the only thing that's going to save her. Because I'm going to be honest with you, my mother would have dragged me with my ear, get in front of there and tell everybody you damn lie. Her mother ain't doing that.
Yeah, black mothers be grabbing them ears, man. Black mothers grabbing ears in a minute.
I'm 40 years old. Get your ass over here. You ain't gonna make me look bad.
All the people on social media that was concerned for her turned the tables, and then now they're on social media dragging her and making fun. I mean, it's nothing to laugh about, but I see some funny ass memes that people putting up with her and Jussie Smollett together.
Yeah, like verses. I saw the verses.
Yeah. There's some good ones out there. So,
but her boyfriend, he deleted her, but then went online not too long ago asking everybody to please stop bullying her. And I'm gonna be honest, we hope that you're not a co-defendant because they said she couldn't have did that by herself.
Yeah. Wow.
All right. Let me show just so people will have an idea of what we're talking about because I didn't show a video.
This is Carly Russell, and she's from my hometown, Birmingham, Alabama. And last night, driving on the highway that I take to get home every single night, she was abducted. She saw a toddler on the side of the road. She called 911 and reported it. She hung up and called her sister-in-law. Her sister-in-law heard her get out the car and asked the child, "Are you okay?" Next thing she heard was screaming. After that, silence. The police pulled up 3 minutes later and they found Carly's wig, her phone, her Apple Watch, and her car still running with the door open. Someone called in and reported that they saw a gray vehicle in front of Carly's red Mercedes before the police arrived. But other than that, it's no leads on this case. This could have been anybody. Driving down the highway, if you see a toddler on the side of the road, of course you're going to be concerned. And Carly was in the medical field, so I know her heart is super big and she truly was probably concerned about this child on the side of the road. Like, look how beautiful she is. She doesn't deserve this. All she wanted to do was pull over and help a child in need. Look, she doing something with her life. She don't fucking deserve this. If you know any information about where Carly Russell is or any information pertaining to her disappearance, please use the information on this flyer. As women, we have to be careful out here. You can't even pull over to check on the well-being of a child without having to worry about your safety. Ladies, please be careful. Always be aware of your surroundings. Even if it's something as simple as checking on a child, you can't trust anything these days.
Things has changed. Matter of fact, maybe that little baby was a little person in a pamper.
Hey, I ain't stopping for nobody. I don't care if you're like a 100-year-old grandmother that need a glass of water. I'm speeding up.
Why are you out there anyway?
I ain't stopping for nobody. I see an old lady with her hood up. Smoke come out the car.
In the middle of that, I'm gonna be like, no, we calling the police.
Desert. I'm like, all right, I hope you be all right, Grandma.
I know what I've done. I saw a lady broke down the side of the road, but I parked behind her. I asked if she's okay. I parked behind her and waited for the tow truck to come.
That's nice of you, Carl. That was very nice of you. I wouldn't have done that.
No,
Carl with the nice hat.
I wouldn't have done that. Carl, you're too nice. That type of issues will get you killed in America.
That is
bro.
true. Now I think back about it, but this was back in the 90s, so.
Yeah. That'll get you killed, bro, in America. For real. I don't know. Yeah, that's dangerous. I mean, and you want to help people. You want to, but you're scared, especially when you see a lady broke down on the side of the road. You want to try to help that lady, let me help this lady change her tire. And then you end up getting killed because it's all a setup, because, I mean, yeah. So, yeah, that I ain't falling for that banana in the tailpipe.
All right. Well, we come to another end of a very, very informative show.
Yes.
I want to thank everyone for taking an hour out of this Sunday to watch our show.
Right.
Truly
Subscribe.
Please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified when we go live. And as always, before we go, Tiffany, anything you learned today you want to share before we go?
Please do your history. People do your history before you do, even artists, before you do these albums, these records, find out who's doing your video, what's going on. You have to be into your work, because it will affect you and it will affect others. White women, please do your history. Don't think that, or Santos, sorry, you got to put him in there. Slavery wasn't beneficial, and we was not having parties and having fun, and everything was we was not happy, and we happy we free now, okay? And still in a way we not free, but I'm glad we're not in that state. We salute our ancestors, but definitely thank you for coming. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, share it, leave a comment, because we would love to hear what you think. And we're not here complaining. We just telling the stories of what's going on.
Kevin, anything you want to complain about?
I want to complain about the heat wave in America. It's hot as hell here in Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah.
It was hot in freaking Florida yesterday. No, and the show is hot. We're hot. The show is hot. So, no, it's a good show. Everybody brought the heat. No pun intended. And I have no special comments, Carl. I just,
all right.
I don't want to go off on those two guys that thought that music video was okay, but they're figuring out, they'll get what's coming to them in America eventually. They'll get the wake up call,
Yeah. Well, like I always say, some Black people look around America to see who's in charge, and that's the way they go. That's the side they decide to take. I'm going to be on this side because these people have the most money, they have the most power, so I'm sticking with them. Maybe I can get some crumbs that fall off the table.
That's what most people that come to this country from other countries do, Carl.
Yeah,
you're in the minority actually, bro. Because most people come to this country, they do exactly what you just said. They look around, they go, okay, we see how Black people are treated, so we're gonna go hang with the white people.
Treat them as such too, right?
That's why Asian people are closer to white people,
Yeah.
even though they were treated badly by white people. But everybody wants to be us, but nobody wants to be us. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
me and Godfrey, Kevin, just so you know.
Huh?
Me and Godfrey.
Oh yeah, you're a Godfrey, yeah. And thank God, that's a good combination, you and Godfrey, man. No doubt, no doubt. Two smart brothers.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're absolutely correct. I was thinking the other day, like, I was walking in like an Asian family, like kind of across the street. I don't know if they did it because of me, or if it just so happened that when they saw me, they were also thinking about crossing the street. It's a possibility. But like, what beef do they have with us? Right? How do they get this? You know what I mean? How do they adopt that mentality that they should fear black people?
Because the news only shows them, the 11 o'clock news only shows them black people that are shooting people, carjacking people, and watch 11 o'clock news. Watch 11 o'clock news tonight and get back with me. That's all I got to say. And then
You sound like the song.
That's all they see though. They don't see the positive on 11 o'clock news. They don't see the positivity. They don't see it.
And I'll ask this question that I've always asked. I've asked it for decades. And after I'm gone, I want somebody to keep asking it. How come with all the lynching and the burning and the horrific things that has been done to black people, we still are not afraid? How come we're still not afraid? We get up every day and we walk amongst people who
dislikes us.
Yeah. We're not afraid. We don't lock our doors. We can go to a concert with 1 million white people and have a good time and not give a shit. Right?
It's in our blood.
How come?
It's in our blood of the resilience. We done saw so much. We done been through so much. Listen, I'm gonna be honest. I couldn't have survived during the civil rights era. You cannot tell me I can't come in a restaurant. Okay, I don't want to see no what you call that? Them dogs running after me and biting my ass. I couldn't have did that. I'm gonna be honest. I'm glad God brought me in this time, in this lifetime. But our parents had to view that and see that, and that's horrible. So we came a long way. We survived that. Like you said, we survived alligators eating our babies and stuff. You understand what I'm saying? We survived all of that. So now.
Yeah, my point. We're still not afraid. I
think we're afraid, Carl. Look, but at 4 a.m. in the morning, in the dark, this past 4 a.m. in the morning, I was driving from my hotel a long dark road on the Florida freeway by myself, driving to an airport to catch a plane. And I'm on the road by myself, and I ain't seen no other cars for about maybe 30 miles. And then, what passed me? A big pickup truck with a flag on the back.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? And you already know. You see a big pickup truck with windows and a flag on the back flying. You already know they don't like you. But they couldn't see who I was because it's dark and my windows are tinted at nighttime. So they
and you're a little light skinned too.
They don't know who was in the car. And you talking to light skinned stuff.
Look, you heard me, and you a little light skinned.
You know damn well you had an Elder Barge poster hanging on your wall back in the day.
I love me some light skins.
You know damn well. You had who was the other one?
You know what I mean? Okay, we don't show fear.
We don't show. But guess what? My point was when I was driving up that highway at 4 a.m. in the morning by myself in Florida.
Yeah.
Of course, it was in the back of my mind
that
my safety.
You could be a victim, right?
I could be a victim. Yeah, I thought about it.
But
I think every black man in the dark.
Only thing that kept me safe was I'm thinking to myself, nobody knows inside this car there is a brother driving because they can't see inside the car. So I felt that gave me a little comfort that nobody knows who's in the car. But I just think I didn't see another car for 30 miles down the long dark road heading to the
You
airport.
And you know why you didn't see no other cars? Because those black people know to have their behind in before the sun hit them. Okay? Because I know every store I went to closed down at 5 and 7 o'clock at night. You're like, wait a minute,
Why
is it closing so early? It was before that sun went down.
But I get what you're saying, like, but I mean, like, as a society as a whole, the stuff that black people, we should be the one locking our car doors. We should be the one crossing the street, right? We should be the ones that if
it should be the roles.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. You know, but we're not. And I always wonder, why is that? How come?
Because we're not. Even though we have a lot that goes on now. Whether the shootings and stuff in Baltimore or Chicago or whatever, Detroit, all this gang violence. We're not a violent people.
No, we're not.
We're not, and gang violence is just a part of the American culture, because before there was gang violence in Chicago by black people, there was gang violence by Italians.
The mob, yeah.
The mob, the mob ran New York City, Chicago, Vegas, Detroit, and all these places for years. And the mob was made up of Italians and Jews and Irishmen.
It's documented, yeah.
Yeah, and they're responsible for millions of murders and drug trafficking and prostitution rings and money laundering. So now you got some black gangbangers in Chicago and Baltimore, and everybody act like we invented gangs.
No, we didn't.
Exactly.
They invented the original gangs.
Exactly.
The overseers, the sheriff department.
But we're not a violent people by nature. We're not a violent people by nature, Colin.
No,
that's why we're the way we are. Because remember, and I say this on the show all the time. Black Wall Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma. You can do your research. They had pool halls, they had schools, they had churches, they had banks,
hospitals,
they had hospital, they had playgrounds, they had everything. Bowling alleys, movie theaters. They didn't have a county jail.
And the train was coming.
They didn't have a county jail.
No.
In
Africa, they didn't have jails.
So there was no crime in Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's why they didn't have no jail.
Crime.
No black people weren't shooting each other. They weren't killing each other in those towns. There was 49 prominent black towns that were all raided and burnt down and eventually destroyed by black people. I mean, by white mobs, right? 49 of them, to be exact, from my research. And none of those towns were violent. We weren't a violent people back in the day. We weren't shooting each other back in the day and killing each other back in the day. We got caught up in the system, thanks to, Jim Crow and all the laws that, put crack cocaine in our neighborhoods and got our brains all messed up and stuff like that. And got,
when I first heard that, I didn't believe it.
Young men in jail. You put young men in jail. Young men in jail, they're raised by fathers, right? All these young men go to jail. Then their kids are growing up with no father in the house, and then that they come out and become criminals, and it's a cycle. It's a cycle that go over and over and over again, right?
Because you don't want to believe that people will be that. I mean, when I first heard that, I was like, "Come on, would the government do that?" But then I started documentaries, I read books and stuff, and
How many people you listen to, like DMX, who I love DMX, but DMX said his family was the gangs, because he had the father and his mother, and he had to go turn to drug dealers to be like the streets for that. He was raised in the streets because that's where he got money and companionship from.
At the streets of his dog.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, that's how it ends up like that, though. So and. It's sad. But
that's circumstance.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah. Every once in a while, somebody gets out. You get the Tyler Perrys of the world or the Oprahs of the world gets out, but a lot of people don't get out.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
All right. Well, for the third time, we're gonna say goodbye. Bye, everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Donna. Thank you to everyone that's been checking us out.
My mom's watching the show. Thank you, Mom, for watching the show.
Thanks, Mom.
You did
My
it.
sister's watching the show. Thank you, sister.
Shout out to Florence.
What's your sister's name?
Bridget. My sister's name is Bridget. Bridget watches every show.
Bridget.
Yeah, that's his sister. Hey, sister.
You have to get Bridget some Black Therapy merch.
Yeah, we'll get a t-shirt.
Yeah. So thank you to all of you for watching, and we will see you guys next Sunday, same time, 7 p.m. ish.
We'll be back bitching again next week. Call. We'll come back bitching some more next week.
The what?
We'll be back bitching more next week.
Yeah, we'll be back. Another show complaining about how horrible our lives are.
We got a good life.
Yeah, listen, if I had a gazillion dollars, I'd still be here saying the same thing. So
Me too.
Me too.
You know, because I'm happy. Like Muhammad Ali said, how can I be happy sitting on the hill in the mansion when my people are suffering?
We need $1 gazillion eating at Tiffany restaurant she took out.
Tiffany and $1 trillion fish. Tiffany took us to a restaurant and got the red snapper. It was like $800.
Oh, my mom want to say hi, by the way. Say hi to my mom.
Hey,
Hello,
Mom.
how are you? Wonderful show. I love it.
Thank you.
Thanks for having my son.
Oh, we love him.
We love him.
So funny.
All right, guys.
All right, Kev.
All right, man. Good seeing y'all. Love y'all, man. I'll see y'all next week. All right, I'll be in Florida next week or North Carolina somewhere. But I'll be on the show. But I'll be on the road. But I'll see you guys next week.
Just stay out of the way of the Floridians.
Yes. No doubt.
All right.
With the knowledge you gain, break away from the chains. We helping you grow the Black Therapy Show. You be in a safe space, dealing with the black trauma. We unpacking and inspecting all our baggage and drama. Cause we gotta unite, no more killing each other. It's time to see a new future for my sisters and brothers. You know with Kevin, Carl, and Tiffany, you'll have an epiphany. We'll give you everything you need to handle the enemy. We be giving you empathy, we gon' challenge you mentally. The right conversation so you grow exponentially. We built your penitentiaries, we built all your schools. Gave us brainwash education, just making us fools. Hatred was what we got in exchange for love. No more manipulation from my God above. No, it's Carl, Kevin, and Tiffany. Now welcome to the Black Therapy Show. Let's go.
Yeah.